Welcome to the Savoy Hotel, the venue of the annual General Managers Hotel Conference, hosted by the Master Innholders. The event has heard how the future of the industry is changing at a faster pace than ever before. Most significantly is the emergence of new markets, such as those from China, and also the growth of social media in marketing hotels. Key speakers included Sandy Dorr, Chief Executive of Visit Britain, James Lohan, Chief Executive of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the European Speaker of the Year, Larry Hoochman. We hear from some of those hoteliers who attended the conference to find out what inspired them to take their businesses forward in 2011 and beyond. We've had some very inspirational speakers over the last 24 hours at the conference. Who particularly stood out for you?
There's two that really stood out for me. I would say the gentleman from Virgin, Paul, was very inspirational. It was very much about looking out of the box and thinking about your business and thinking about not just doing things as norm, but how you can be more creative and look out of the box to actually look at new marketing ideas. I found him very inspirational and gave a lot of energy to the conference.
And there was somebody else?
There was, that's right. Larry Hoochman, I thought he was absolutely fabulous. I thought it was a brilliant closing speaker. I found him very inspirational, lots of energy, great ideas, and looking about your vision and thinking about yourself. I think it's really important to think about yourself and what you're going to get personally out of this conference so that you can take it back and share it with the rest of your team. I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
And what's the overriding message that you're going to take back to the hotel with you from the conference, do you think?
Well, I think it's a question, as you say, of moving forward, of going back, looking at your notes, going through the issues that we've been learning about, and how we can adapt those and adopt those into our own day-to-day operations.
And how does your hotel embrace social media? It's something we've been hearing a lot about this morning with the use of Facebook, Twitter and so on. Are you looking to those means to actually push the hotel forward? We
are looking at it. I mean, we are in the early stages of it. We're experimenting with it, as I think a lot of hotels are. But it's something that it's here to stay. It's going to get bigger. And we need to be prepared. But I think, like a lot of hotels, we're at the early stages of how best to use those social media facilities.
Well, it has been a tremendous 24 hours, a very worthwhile use of time, and I'm delighted I could bring some of my team up. I think the greatest thing I should take from it is very much engaging with the next generation coming through in terms of developing talents, how we can attract them and approach them, and listening to them. I was very smitten with the four students who came forward with the project, the Kaizen approach to sort of really engaging your team and taking ideas from the team and trying to implement as many of those as possible. I think they'll bring a tremendous dynamic to the industry going forward, and that's too obvious to say, but I think it really needs people like myself who've been engaged in the industry for 20 plus years to sort of stop and think about the future and the way forward.
One of the subjects that was discussed at length was social media. How well are you using social media at the two hotels to promote your business and to engage with your customers?
I think social media is quietly addictive. I certainly do engage with it, and I think there's benefits for the business in terms of it's just opening in conversations, basically. And I think that the key thing that really resonates with me is you simply have to know what's being said about your properties. I think if you choose to ignore social media, you'll be on the back foot because it's being written, it's being said. You need to be in tune with it, up to speed with it, and contribute to it.
Congratulations, Siobhan and Sam, on being successful in this Julian Scholarship. What are the chief things that you learned from the scholarship and that you've taken back into your positions at work?
Well, the course that we attended was at the Cranfield School of Management, and the course specifics were about raising our credibility and visibility back in our workplace. So we were taught by world-leading lecturers, and we were taught a vast array of subjects from finance to marketing to strategy, but ultimately and fundamentally we were asked about our personal development goals and how we can ultimately reach that end goal of increasing our visibility and credibility in our organisations, and that was the biggest thing that we took away from the course.
Definitely, we were a lot of looking inside yourself. What's holding you back from being as good as you really can be? Lots of self-analysis on what you're saying and when you're saying it, and if you're being listened to or not, how persuasive you are, and what's your strategy, and have you got a strategy, and you're delivering that. So really worthwhile and extremely life-changing course and process.
We've spent the past 24 hours at the Savoy at the Master Innholders conference. It's been a very inspirational time for everybody here. What are the key things that you have learnt and gained from being at this event?
There have been some fantastic speakers here today, a really diverse array of different topics, from social media to the future of the economics and politics within not just Europe but the world, and what we've got to be opening our eyes to, China, the emerging markets, and the things that we've really got to be hitting home. And it's about taking action now rather than waiting for our competitors or competitor countries to be overtaking us.
Absolutely. I think I'd add to the fact that we've learned an awful lot of theory and we've seen an awful lot of facts and figures over the last 24 hours. And I think the key thing now is really putting them into action and taking away and going back into our workplaces with some clear strategies and really a very clear action plan on how to deliver those strategies so that we can really shape the future for the hospitality industry as we move forward.